of authors, publishers, translators, printers, booksellers, book distributors, librarians, and readers, and become a hub of the book universe for an entire year. Africa will, for the first time, have the opportunity to share its own vision of books based on its own unique experience. By drawing attention to the situation of books in Nigeria and in Africa in general, we can also address the many challenges encountered by national stakeholders. The stakes are high, and we are aware that much remains to be done by the local authorities before 2014 to prepare for Port Harcourt's tenure as World Book Capital City and to ensure its success. But rest assured that UNESCO will continue to work with all parties concerned to meet the challenges ahead. Before concluding, allow me to reiterate UNESCO's congratulations to Port Harcourt World Book Capital 2014. I thank you for your attention.
I hear your call. I hear it far away. I hear it break the circle of these crouching hills. I want to view your face again and feel your cold embrace, or at your brim to set myself and inhale your breath, or like the trees to watch my mirrored self unfold and span my days with song from the lips of dawn. I hear your lapping call, I hear it coming through, invoking the ghost of a child, the ghost of a child. Listening, where riverbeds hail your silver surface flow. Mine, a river is calling too. In ceaseless flow, impels my foundering canoe down the inevitable course. And each dying year brings near the seabird's call, the final call that stills the crested waves and breaks in two the upturned canoe, calling to, O incomprehensible God, shall my pilot be my inborn stars to that final call to thee, O my rivers, complete scores.
I congratulate the City of Port Harcourt, Rainbow Club in particular, for this honor which they have brought, not only to the nation, but to the African continent. This recognition indicates very clearly that something at least is going right in Nigeria, despite the avalanche of negativities. One plea that I want to make to writers, my fellow writers, authors everywhere, is to recognize that we're not just engaged in the business of writing books, we're part of a large army of creative people. Let me read you something. The Paralympic Games is about transforming our perception of the world. We're all different. There's no such thing as a standard or run-of-the-mill human being, but we share the same human spirit. What is important is that we have the ability to create. This creativity can take many forms, from physical achievement to theoretical physics. Well, missing from that exhortation would be, most noticeably for us here, literature. But I think we can forgive the man who's considered to be one of the greatest scientific minds in the world. If I was sending the message, naturally, I would say quantum physics and poetry, or vice versa. I might call attention to the, in fact, the beauty, the poetry that exists in human limbs, and the extraordinary beauty, in particular, that we can detect from disadvantaged bodies still struggling to defy gravity, to match the strength, the skills against other people. That in itself is a poetry of humanism which is unequaled by anything which myself or my colleagues here can produce. And for me, curiosity, this little thing, is, even though it's a scientific invention, construction, for me, it's poetry in action itself. You know, exploring unknown territories, transforming, as I said earlier, our concept of reality, breaking boundaries, breaking down boundaries completely. Power loves boundaries. Power loves to constrict creativity. And for me, that symbolic creature is walking like a spider all over a new planet, decoding the language that is hidden on that planet and beaming it back to us.
The symbolic unveiling of Port Harcourt as the World Book Capital City 2014, the logo is going to be unraveled by writers of the city.
Port Harcourt is proud. The state is very proud. And that what this is saying to us is that Port Harcourt is back. And so, I would request, quite honestly, the faces of our city, the writers that have distinguished us and made us proud, to be the ones. Yes, as governor, I'd like to step aside and have those who really have brought us this honor unveil this logo on our behalf. The writers of Port Harcourt, please.
Put your hands together.
It's your day to do this for us. And Dr. Shoyinka is one of us for now.
Please. Put your hands together. This is so beautiful.
Nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand up as witness history in the making.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just
Would like to ask you to just stand up.
it's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses.
A book, presentation of a book that was compiled and edited by the festival director. And as is customary, the book review would be done. And to do that for us this afternoon is Dr. Obari Gomba. Please let's welcome Dr. Obari Gomba to review the book.
So the title of my review is A Coffee Table Approach to Koko Kalango's Nigerian Literature, A Code of Many Colors. Let me begin by saying that this book, it's more than a coffee table book. It's an important book on Nigerian authors and literature. It is a book that will stir a lot of conversations in the days ahead. And that is a good thing for literature. Literature, by nature, is not a quiet enterprise. The noisier, the better. And I think this is a privilege. I consider it a privilege that I have been chosen to open the conversation on this book. Mrs. Kalango's book has a beautiful front cover, which is designed with 14 wonderful pictures. They are the faces of J.P. Clark, Buchi Emecheta, Elechi Amadi, Chimamanda Adichie, Chukwuemeka Ike, Wole Soyinka, Zainab Akali, Ben Okri, Chena Achebe, Neo Shundare, Zulu Sofola, Flora Nwapa, Femi Osofisho, and Audio Femo. Of all the cover photographs, Mrs. Kalango shows her bias for Soyinka. Soyinka's photo is the biggest. Well, does it surprise you? Do you not know that Soyinka is the first African to win the Nobel Prize for Literature? Well, now you know. Also note that the other 36 writers have their faces on the back cover. You should see the back cover. These writers, the 36 of them are there in their diverse graces. Diverse graces. The book has 109 large gloss pages besides its unnumbered preliminary pages. The preliminary pages comprise the title page, the data page, the acknowledgement page, the epigraph page, which has a quote from Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. In fact, you should see that quote. Next is Dr. Jonathan's foreword to the book. Now, in case you don't know, Dr. Jonathan is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is why next to his foreword, you see the map of Nigeria. Next to that is an introduction written by Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, the governor of Rivers State. Let us note that Dr. Jonathan and Right Honorable Amechi are committed writers. They show a lot of passion for literature. It is indeed a breath of fresh air to see leaders who are genuinely interested in literature. For that, I have looked keenly for typos and slips in their punctuations. Well, don't ask me if I've seen any. The SSS is here. Okay. They have all added value to the book. Period. And if you envy them for my bias towards them, I will run for office in the next election. Again, I say period. The dedication page is next. The book is dedicated to the Nigerian child, and that's wonderful. The next page is the contents page, which bears the names of the 15 Nigerian authors who are listed in the book. There are 35 men and 15 women. And mind you, I think 15 over 50 is less than 35% affirmative action for women. Mrs. Kalango's book is a great effort. You will see a vision for our culture in the publisher's note. You will see more in the note on Rainbow Book Club. And you will also see a snippet of our profile on page 103. When I got to that page, I stopped. And I spent 1 hour looking at our photograph. The braids, the forehead, the brows and the eyes, the nose, the teeth, the lips, of course. Why not? The lips. And I have also found that there's a very good heart that is lodged in this woman. That heart bears the vision for greater development of Nigerian literature. Don't take my words to the bank. I urge you to go and discover this book yourself. I recommend this book to everyone who is interested in Nigerian literature. I recommend this book to everyone who is a lover of books. I recommend it to you. Thank you for listening. I hope my coffee was not transferred. Thank you.
I thank you all for coming. We're all celebrating our victory over great cities like Lyon in France, Oxford in UK, even Moscow. We beat them all to get this. And it is thanks to you all, because this festival can go on without participants, without the writers. So we thank everybody for making this possible. We thank the governor for his constant effort to promote literature. I often tell him, I say, Your Excellency, literature is not once a year, you know. The nitty-gritty of the daily literary activity is carried out by various groups, particularly the Association of Nigerian Authors and groups like that. So I've been urging him to please try and patronize these associations because they do the day-to-day work of promoting literature. All those who have come from outside this country, the UNESCO woman, oh, she's not here, but she has a representative. The lady from Uganda, the expatriates I can see here, and all the young writers, and the readers too. We thank you for coming to make this festival really memorable. Let me use this chance to just say something maybe slightly off the main line. Things have been said here about the very unfortunate incident in Alo. Now, I happen to from Alo. So you can imagine my dismay and my sadness over what has happened. But let me also use this wonderful opportunity to explain that what has happened has very little to do with the indigents of Alo. If you look at the photographs, if you look at the names published by the police, you'll find that they are non-indigents of Alo. In Alo, by tradition, we abhor the spilling of human blood. Even if you spill human blood accidentally or in legitimate self-defense, you will still be required to cleanse yourself. You have to go through a ritual of cleansing before you are admitted back to society. That shows you the abhorrence of the people of Alo when it comes to the spilling of human blood. So I'm not now saying Alo is a holy city or something, or its citizens are particularly morally upright, but the fact is that this particular incident has nothing to do with the indigents of Alo. The only person arrested is the paramount ruler of that village, and that was routine arrest, and he was questioned by the police. But all the real suspects were non-indigents of Alo. There are 9 villages in Alo. This one is the one nearest the university. And this incident took place in a new area of that village where land has been sold to foreigners, to strangers.